welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Ellie, I'm a first year going into second year law student. I am pretty much a uni lifestyle type of video gal, and I like my scripts. So if you see me looking down or to the side during this video, that's why. But yeah, in this video I am mainly just going to talk about tips, tricks and hacks for people going into first year and how to properly enjoy being a fresher. This is mainly stuff I wish I knew going into freshers. So whether you are about to start your first year or you're just feeling a bit unsure and want some help, some motivation, just someone to remind you to chill out, this is the place to be, I guess. It's just a super chill chat with all the things no one really tells you and the stuff I had to figure out along the way. So let's get into it. Tip 1 is that you do not have to have everything figured out right away. You do not have to have your life together in week 1 or even straight as you move in. I feel like there's this weird pressure to settle in straight away. That's mainly from social media, where you see the vlogs of people moving in and they seem already fully adapted to uni life. It's not really the case. You aren't always going to make friends immediately and fall in love with your course and decorate your room like Pinterest. The truth is that settling in properly does take time. Sometimes you just won't click with your flatmates, and sometimes you won't love your course at first because it's so overwhelming. And that is so normal, and you are not the only one in that boat. Everyone is pretending that they're fine and they're having the time of their lives, but behind the scenes they probably are equally as overwhelmed as you are. So take what you see from other people with a bit of a pinch of salt. We are all just trying to keep up and learn and figure out this crazy new experience. So just take the pressure off yourself, because you're not behind, you're just new, and just take it one step at a time. Don't expect miracles in 2 seconds. Tip 2. Freshers Week is not the peak of your social life. It is not going to be that massive event where it's the be all or end all. Freshers Week as a whole is hyped up so much by students, university, parents sometimes, but it is not the be all or end all. If you don't go out every night or make lifelong best friends in that 1 week, emphasis on the 1 week, you do not have to panic. Some of the closest people in my life now weren't even in my course or in my accommodation to begin with. I met them through societies and group work, or just sitting near each other in the library. People do tend to come and often go in first term, especially because everyone's figuring out what works best for them. So make sure you're not putting too much pressure on yourself for Freshers Week, and giving yourself a break if you want one, because your people will come, and often not where or when you expect them to. But it is fun, and you do meet so many lovely people, and you do make those what feel like lifelong connections. Tip 3. You do not have to study perfectly to be doing well. This is something that I've fought so hard with for the majority of first year, and I think it only really clicked when I was going into my end of year exams. So yeah, this one took me a while to believe. You don't need the perfect study system on day 1. I don't even know why I held myself to that expectation, considering I'd never done law before, and therefore would have had no clue what I even needed to revise, let alone the best way to revise it. But I did spend so long watching study YouTubers and buying planners and trying to copy other people's study methods, which is all fine if you also take into account your own personal requirements. And they are nice to just watch to chill out with, I cannot lie. But uni studying is a different kind of, I'm going to say, beast. You're probably going to spend your first term at least figuring out what does not work. And I know for me that was a massive shock, especially receiving assignments back and them not being what I expected them to be, purely because I was still doing what I was expected to do at A-level, and it is not the case for uni. But it's completely fine. Progress matters more than perfection in this, because it is a complete flip from what you're used to. So just like you have to be open to accept this new way of marking, this new way of learning, be open to trying out new revision and studying techniques. You could have gone through your A-level swearing by flashcards, but they no longer work. And for me, flashcards don't really work that well anymore to do everything, because of how much like opinion and evaluation and analysis I now need in law that has to be my own personal opinions and sort of being driven a bit more up from the spot. So be open to trying new ways. If you've always done computerised notes, try handwriting some, and if you have always sworn by flashcards and mind maps, try different ways of laying out information. And if you've always been a solo studier like me, try group studying. It is my new favourite thing at uni. And honestly, I would have never even thought about it if I wasn't just open to trying any sort of revision techniques. So honestly, take this year to experiment with your revision techniques and find whatever works for you. Tip 4, budgeting. Budgeting is like this massive grey cloud that hangs over every single uni student's head, whether they're commuting and living at home or whether they're in accommodation living away from home. It is this massive thing, and if you go through the whole year of uni without one person uttering about their bank account, I don't know who you're friends with, but props to them, because money goes so fast during uni. And I wasn't even reckless with spending, but things that you don't really click are adding up do add up. Whether that's food and drinks, from like a vending machine to your food shops, societies, gym memberships and random trips and nights out. It all adds up, and it adds up quick. But what helped me was setting a loose budget, like a weekly budget that just sort of, I had a rough idea of the amount I wanted to spend that week, but if I went a couple pounds over, it wasn't the be all or end all. I found that doing a rigid budget where it was like the be all or end all if I spent over it put way too much stress on me, especially because expenses for uni crop up randomly. So you could have done really well with budgeting, but then your friends are all going out in Richmond for a day and the ticket is £3, you only have £2 left of your budget. I then, it's, what do you do then? So just set a loose one where if you're going a pound or two over, it's not, you're not going to be that stressed about it. But I would also recommend tracking your spending for the first couple of weeks of uni, maybe up to halfway through your first term, just to see where your money's actually going. Sort of working out the prices of different things, like how much you'd typically spend on a night out, how much you'd typically spend on a day trip, how much you'd spend doing a weekly food shop or a monthly food shop, depending on whether you are batch cooking or not. Just, it will really help you figure out how much you need to budget week to week. And from that note, batch cooking saved my life in uni. Do not underestimate the power of batch cooking, because batch cooking, meal planning helps so much with preventing wastage. Buying what you need rather than what you want as soon as you walk into the supermarket. Because for me, I'd buy a bunch of snacky things if I was hungry while I was shopping, and then spend loads because I've still got to buy meal food. So it is a bit boring, but it generally does save time and money. And if you do it right and you properly look into it and properly work on it, it isn't repetitive like I originally thought it would be. Tip 5. Taking care of your space and routines early is detrimental to having a good first year, in my opinion. For me, it was so easy to let my room get chaotic, especially when lectures and my job started piling up. But for me, my space definitely affects my brain. So if I had a messy room, I would feel so demotivated and so just not into it. And I found that just making a habit of doing 5 minutes of tidying, not cleaning, tidying a day just after I got up honestly made such a difference, or right before you go to bed, to be fair. And that would just be a case of putting all my laundry in my laundry hamper and maybe wiping down the sides, or making sure if I've had food in my room, just going and washing up that plate before the end of the day, so I can wake up and my room isn't an absolute pigsty like most uni rooms do get at some point in the term. And this goes to laundry as well. If you pick a day and stick to it, it sounds silly, but those small routines are so important to get down early. You do not want to be that person that has to rewear the same thing a couple times in a week purely because you'd left laundry to the last minute, then went to go do your laundry and the laundry machines were all full, and then by the time you actually get down to do your laundry and they're all full and they're not full, it is time to go to lectures, so you have to slip on the same outfit you've worn for 2 days already and pray that you can get a washing machine after you finish your lecture. You don't want to be that person. I was that person and I hated it because I used to do it every time because I just put laundry off. Please, just from the get-go, set a day for laundry, do your laundry on that day. It works. It sort of doesn't feel as overwhelming at that once you get into it, because it's like, oh, today's laundry day, let's just get it over with. 10 out of 10 recommend that one. Okay, tip 6. You are allowed to struggle and still be doing well. So what I mean by this is uni is hard, especially first year. I feel like so many people underestimate how hard first year is because it's not weighted, it's not as strict. But people fail to remember that this is your first year away from home, it's your first year doing what might be a new subject, stuff like that. So even if you are getting really good grades and going out and meeting new people and just doing everything people expect of a first year uni student, there will still be days where it all does feel like too much. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're failing, it just means you're being human. And if you are really struggling with it, make sure you are asking for help. Talk to friends, and if you feel like none of your friends are available, there are uni support services that are so good with dealing with this. You've got to remember you're in a university of what is probably well over 1,000 people. Like, well over 1,000 people. You are not going to be the only one feeling ridiculously overwhelmed or struggling or drained. So just talk, reach out. Chances are if you do talk to your friends, one of them will turn around and be in the exact same boat you are, because that is just the way uni is. You are doing everything from scratch. You're literally making a life for yourself while figuring out how to be an adult, while doing a course, while having to plan like your future based off this course. It is a lot. So just take a minute, take a breather, log on some YouTube, journal, talk to people. You can be overwhelmed and you can have those days where you just relax on your own and protect like your mental health, because it is so important. So don't expect it not to feel a lot. It's going to have some very big highs, and it is mainly very big highs, but just be prepared that you might have a low or two in the mix of that because of how full on uni is. So yeah, they are just a few things I wish someone had told me before I started uni, and I hope this helped even one of you feel a little bit more ready or a little bit less alone going into this. Especially, I wish I had especially had something like this going into uni, because I was a first generation uni student, so I had no one who had been to uni before in my bubble at all. And I feel like it's just a bit of a nice thing to know what you're expecting. So if you've just started uni or you are about to, leave a comment and I'd love to hear how it's going so far. And if you found it helpful, give it a like, subscribe and stick around for some more uni and study content, and I'll see you soon.